But like, let's start with the huge, big piece of news. That's like the most heartbreaking, but also good thing that happened, which was Metroid 4 was basically rebooted, restarted the entire process. They basically just deleted everything they had on the books.
No, I'm sure they kept some of the assets. Some of them they had to.
I guess, but
sure, probably they just had to start over, like with new developers and new new project manager and stuff. But no, yeah, I don't think they completely scrapped everything they needed. I feel like there's more to that story.
I mean, well, so basically what happened was Nintendo on their YouTube, they put out a video talking about Metroid 4, right? And it was like they were saying, this and that they, they were basically, at first I thought they were going to announce it. I didn't hear, like, I remember you sent me the link. I thought they were announcing it or doing a trailer. And then when I'm hearing like, oh, it doesn't meet our requirements, I'm like, hold up, what? And this and that. And yeah, we're completely restarting it. Okay. From scratch.
I mean,
and then
I love that though. Like, it's such a fresh it's just
fresh breath fire.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a better word, but yeah, basically, yeah, it's incredible. I mean, they could have honestly just said nothing, and people would have forgotten.
I feel like everybody feels the same way though. I feel like everybody was there, like, I'm in the minority, but I like that the way Nintendo announced this because they gave us full transparency, and then everybody like kind of gave their opinions, and you can see the like and dislike ratio. Like last time I checked, there was like 90,000 likes and only a few thousand dislikes. And, it's like, okay, everybody agrees. Yeah, Nintendo, you're doing awesome. Like, even though you canceled the game, you honestly canceled it. Or, you didn't cancel it. You rebooted it. But
yeah, they didn't say, oh, we canceled the game. And, like what Microsoft did with Scalebound. But they...
Oh, God, yeah.
But they said, we don't like the vision it was going to, and we rebooted it with another studio. And I think that's what people loved.
The OG studio, the studio that made the original Metroid Prime games. So, they have history and they're better at it.
They probably talked to them, like the developers of Retro, and they're like, "What do you think?" And Retro's like, "It's ugly." So
my theory is that my theory was that they maybe were like halfway through the project. They kind of told Retro to come take a look at everything they have, and maybe Retro was gonna assist in some way. And then Retro saw the progress, and they're like, it doesn't look that good. And then Nintendo was like, well, we'll scrap the whole thing and give you full,
No, there had to be more to that, because then that's, Nintendo's like, oh, that's crazy. They can't, you know what I mean? Like, they've been working on this for years.
It's still though, like, even though we're still wondering what's gonna happen and stuff like that, honestly, yeah, like, I respect them so much for coming out and saying that, because most video game companies would have released the game in the broken state that it would have been in, basically.
Yeah, of course. They would have finished, add a couple more touches, and just dropped it.
Yeah, and it's like, you have to take note if you're these bigger companies like EA and Activision and Bethesda. Like, you have to, EA, your trailer for Battlefield 5, your trailer for a game, your announcement of a game had way more dislikes than likes. And then Nintendo's cancellation of a game that everybody wants, has a way better, like to dislike ratio than your announcement or your trailer of a game. So them canceling a game is still perceived better than you giving us a game, because we trust them, and they've gained our trust, and they've made the right moves. And I really hope all these other companies out there are taking note, because Nintendo, have they done that before?
I mean, Nintendo, to be honest, like, Nintendo just did like a move that any developer would do, which is like be super transparent on everything on development. And they just, it's a AAA company, and they were really transparent. They're like, listen, we started from scratch because it didn't reach our mission, our vision of what we wanted Metro 4 to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it shocked everybody. They were like, huh. Like,
I think the difference
nobody expected that from Nintendo.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they have so many hits coming out this year that you know what, it sucks that we're not getting a Metroid, but you know what? I'm sure we're gonna get Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing,
Yeah, Deus Ex
and
Machina, or not Deus Ex Machina. What's it called?
you're the one gloating about
Damon
it.
Machina. I don't know why I said. Well, I know
Oh,
it's Damon Machina. Yeah.
so that's that game that Sentry's very excited about. I mean, I think it looks okay, looks all right. But Sentry thinks it's the next greatest game to ever come out. So let's see how it fares when it comes out. But yeah, honestly, Nintendo, I think that they're headed more by game developer type like minded people that like are gamers. I think the people that are CEO of Nintendo, I think everybody that's in the front office, they're a bunch of nerds, game loving nerds that kind of grew up in that industry. And I think most of the CEOs at EA and Activision are just corporate fat suits that are just trying to make money, trying to improve the bottom line. I mean, trying to just go for the bottom line, which is make money, make the company money. Period. We're good. So I really appreciate what Nintendo's doing, and honestly, yeah, it does suck. And I think again, I do think that Nintendo's gonna be like, but here's a cute little substitute. We're gonna re-release the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Switch, which you told me that they already announced that it was finished, right?
Yeah. So according to rumors, it's already finished. So I bet they were planning to release it with like the same year that Metroid Prime 4 was coming out, and obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, well, still to see.
It's still great though. Like if you still love Metroid, you're gonna get you're gonna get
Yeah,
the
because
your
well, didn't the
Metroid.
Metroid games are like on different consoles, right?
I don't remember. I played the one on GameCube. That's the one I just remember playing.
Yeah, and one of them was on the Wii, and there's different consoles over.
That's gonna be really cool though. And so yeah, again, it was sad news, but the way Nintendo handled it, I really wish more companies would do that. Okay, because at the end of the day, we're gonna spend our money on that, so you might as well be transparent with us. And I always tell. I think it's kind of funny, and I was telling Centurion about this. Like I just see like the heads of Nintendo seeing all the likes that they're getting on that video, and they're like, "Wow, people must really hate Metroid." And like we should just cancel it. I mean, Jesus, people
Yeah,
are
it's
liking
like
the
people liked
people
that
are
that was rebooted from scratch.
yeah, they're like we should cancel it, yo. I could imagine that, but Nintendo they have a good hand on like the pulse of like the video gaming industry, or at least like us video gamers. They know what we want. They're they're very self aware too. Okay, I like the direction Nintendo's heading in.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what they
They've
want to
done a lot
do.
more. Yeah, they've done a lot more stuff for the fans. I mean, you see here with all the YouTube stuff that they went from like, oh yeah, you rarely saw Nintendo stuff on YouTube, which I think was one of the Wii and Wii U's biggest downfalls. They never got covered on YouTube because if you try to cover them, you could have easily have been what's it called, a copyright. Nintendo was very secure about its property, and it kind of it kind of messed them up in the long run. And I guess they recognized that, and the Switch had it went from them barely being covered to now Nintendo is like the most covered. When it comes to video games on YouTube right now, there's a lot of Switch channels dedicated solely to like Switch games and Switch news. It's a lot. It's kind of crazy like how they went from barely being anything on YouTube to being very popular, especially now with Smash and stuff
Yeah,
like
and
that.
that definitely worked out in their favor. Like they're geniuses basically, because they rebuilt their image into like that family friendly, everybody loves company essentially.
And they're still, because again, the Wii, I don't know if it was the Wii U or the Wii, I felt like they were too kid friendly because they rarely had any like M-rated games, but like the Switch has a way better library of M-rated games and stuff, and the graphics are able to, they're able to either, maybe there's a small decrease from the consoles, or they're able to look almost on par. And you have games like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff like that, and hopefully, so it's not only like, again, not only is it created nice games and stuff like that for families, Mario Party, Mario Kart, and stuff like that, but they've also, kind of distanced themselves from being that kid console. Like the Wii U, if you had a Wii U back then, like the image was that you were, like if you were old and had a Wii U, like if you were 35 years old and you had a Wii U, people would see it as like strange. And again, I wouldn't care, because I mean, I knew people that had Wii U's, and I knew older people that had Wii U's. If you love video games, you'll get a Nintendo console if you want and stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna judge you for it, but that was like the perceived notion. If you had a Wii U, you were, perceived like kind of a wimp or something like that. But like now with the Switch, it's like I don't see that narrative.
Like, yeah, you can have a PlayStation, you can have an Xbox or a PC.
Well, you're not dumb,
you need
but
the Switch.
There's a lot, like, yo, you want to play Smash? You want to play the best Smash to have come out ever? Get a Switch. Oh, and by the way, you can play it on the go. And that's the thing. That's to me the biggest selling point. Yo, you can play anything you want on the freaking go.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's
We're just
carved up
praising
as
Nintendo here, but yeah, we promise we will move on eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but I could stay here for 3 hours just talking about how great Nintendo is.
Yeah, that was really good on their part, especially PR wise, for to convince to basically tell people, like, they were very open. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to say. Like, they didn't have to say anything. They could have just left it how it was, and people would have said, wow, 6 years ago they announced Metroid Prime, and then they released it. But they're like, no, we started from scratch.
You know what thing it reminds me of, though, Sentry? With, like, for example, Activision, and how they literally, the new Call of Duty game they had no microtransactions at the beginning, and then after all the reviews came out, a few months later, 1 billion transactions, and it's become hectic with the transactions, and that is such a sneaky thing to do. Honestly, that you're literally cheating people out of their money.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because I buy a $60 game and I check the review. If I want to buy the new Call of Duty, I check out all the reviews. Oh, you don't have to worry about microtransactions. And then I buy it and it's like filled to the brim with microtransactions. I'm like, yo, the heck? And the way that they did that on purpose and never said anything like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a ton of microtransactions. Like, no, the fact they never said anything just shows how shady they are. And yeah, Nintendo all the way, yo. You companies gotta start taking note.